Guy Fawkes, the most well-known participant of the Gunpowder Plot of 1605, a failed attempt to assassinate King James I and restore the Catholic monarchy in England by blowing up the House of Lords, was no more than a soldier. The Gunpowder Plot is the reason that we remember the 5th of November, and Fawkes' likeness has since become a worldwide symbol of uprising.
Donald Trump, it has come to our attention that you want to ban all Muslims to enter the United States. This policy is going to have a huge impact. This is what ISIS wants.
V for Vendetta is a story about revolutions and those who lead them. Our protagonists are Evie, a young low-level employee at the British television network, and a man known only as V, who conceals his identity by wearing a wig and a Guy Fawkes mask. V for Vendetta takes place in the not-too-far-off future, wherein the United Kingdom has transformed into a fascist police state under heavy surveillance ruled by the tyrannical High Chancellor Stutler. V is trying to end Stutler's reign and bring the country's power back into the hands of its citizens. The thesis of the film is as follows.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
And you're going to make that happen by blowing up a building?
What V for Vendetta tells us is that anyone can stand up to their government and lead a revolution, just as long as they're able to overcome their fear. Evie starts off the film submissive, terrified, and inactive, and by the end she's picking up where V leaves off. Despite never saying it outright, the film uses comparative shots between V and Evie, as well as repetitive editing techniques, to demonstrate that these two were always destined for the same path. The movie constantly draws parallels between them to show us that despite their surface-level differences, they both lost a lot under Stutler's regime. They're both hurting in the same way, and ultimately share the same drive to burn it all down. The notion that V and Evie are somehow connected is presented to us before they ever meet. We see both of them on the night of November 4th. V is getting ready for the late night ahead while listening to Prothero's news broadcast. He looks in the mirror as he puts on his wig and his mask, and the camera pans through to the mirror in Evie's apartment, where she is also getting ready for the night ahead while watching Prothero's broadcast. From there, the camera cuts back and forth between their respective dwellings. Obviously, these two people are extremely different. He wears boots, she wears heels, she puts on a necklace, he puts on some kind of knife belt thing. I wanted to get the exact terminology for whatever this accessory is, but I was afraid of what looking it up would do to my targeted ads. Nevertheless, there's some sort of commonality between them. We just don't know what it is yet.
But to whom, might I ask, am I speaking?
I'm Evie.
Evie? Evie. Of course you are.
What does that mean?
It means that I, like God, do not play with dice and do not believe in coincidence.
From their first meeting where he saves her from being assaulted by Stutler's secret police, V takes Evie up to the rooftops to witness his first spectacle on November 4th. We see shots of speakers waking up the city. Shots that we will see repeated in the film's finale. We come to find that both Evie and V have been wronged by the government. V was used as a test subject for a bioweapon program at Larkhill, a concentration camp. That bioweapon program evolved into the St. Mary's virus, which became a countrywide pandemic that took the life of Evie's little brother and radicalized her parents. Evie's parents became political activists after their son's death, eventually getting detained in front of their remaining child, never to be seen again. Side note, the sequence of Evie hiding under the bed from government officials is repeated when Gordon gets captured and killed. But I'm not going to dwell on that in the interest of time. All I can say about that is...
It means that I, like God, do not play with dice and do not believe in coincidence.
Evie tells V that she agrees with his motivations, but she finds his methods a bit extreme, to say the least. She tells him that she wishes she could be a strong, brave person like her parents, but she's afraid of absolutely everything.
Sorry, I'm not a stronger person. Sorry, I'm not like my parents. I wish I was, but I'm not. I wish I wasn't afraid all the time, but I am.
V seeks to remedy this by imprisoning and torturing her. Nevertheless, her time in fake prison and discovering Valerie's note are what completely radicalize her and ensure that she's prepared to pick up the pieces when V is gone. even when she hates V the most, after discovering that he's responsible for the lowest point in her life, shots of Evie are juxtaposed with shots of V after the fire he started at Larkhill. They are both completely reborn after they hit rock bottom, and the film assures us that they're still on the same path. When V and Evie reconnect on November 5th, a year after their initial meeting, he shows her a train filled with explosives that, if triggered, will pass straight under Parliament and destroy it. This is the moment that he's been waiting for ever since Larkhill, but he tells her that he can't be the one to pull the lever. He knows that the Chancellor's men are about to kill him, and it wouldn't be right to cause chaos that he won't be around to see. After V dies, Evie loads him onto the train. She pulls the lever and takes Mr. Finch up to the same rooftop. We see the same shots of the same speakers playing music, only this time the city doesn't need to be woken up. When Finch asks Evie who V really was, she keeps it real.
Who's Edmund Dantes? And who's my father? And my mother? My brother? My friend? Who is you? And me? Who's all of us?
We've all been hurt by those in power. What this film's usage of repeated and comparative shots is trying to tell us is that we don't have to roll over for the government. We can lead a revolution, so long as fear doesn't hold us back.